All right, so we're diving into these stories about accidental entrepreneurs, people who kind of stumbled into successful businesses.
Yeah, it's fascinating how many of them never planned to be entrepreneurs.
Right. But they ended up making a living doing what they love.
What's interesting to me is this theme of passion meeting practicality.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They weren't just chasing a hobby. They were solving problems for others, often from their own experiences.
Like Michael Hanna, the guy who got laid off and ended up running a mattress store.
Yeah, he saw an opportunity. People need mattresses.
Oh, sure.
But the whole buying experience is usually awful. So he made it welcoming. No pressure.
It's like he turned a personal frustration into a business.
Exactly. A classic example.
Makes me think of that quote from the $100 startup book. It's the account of people who found a way to live their dreams and make a good living from something they care deeply about. What if their success could be replicated? Is that basically the $100 startup model in a nutshell?
Absolutely. Starting small, maybe with just $100, and finding that sweet spot between what you're passionate about and what others are willing to pay for.
So it's not about getting paid to knit, if that's your passion.
Right.
It's about finding a business opportunity within that passion.
Exactly. Jane Hare with Steamy Kitchen is a great example.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about her.
Loved Asian cooking, but saw a need for easy, healthy recipes busy families could make.
Smart.
Boom, website cooking show success.
So she wasn't getting rich teaching stir fry. She was solving dinner dilemmas.
Exactly. Identifying a need, not just monetizing a hobby.
I like that.
Brandon Pierce, another good example. Music teacher, drowning in admin work.
Oh, so he wasn't going to get rich teaching piano.
Right. But he loved programming, so he created Music Teacher's Helper to streamline all that stuff.
Clever.
Became a lifesaver for tons of other music teachers.
Okay, so think beyond the hobby itself. Ask, how can I use this to make someone's life easier or better?
Now let's talk about this distinction between features and benefits.
Yeah, lots of people get this wrong.
Big time.
Break it down for us.
Imagine selling a car. A feature is, this car has heated seats. The benefit is, imagine cruising through winter, feeling warm and cozy no matter how cold it is outside.
So features are facts, benefits are the feeling you get.
Yes. Describing versus making someone feel something. That's the connection.
So Michael Hanna mattresses feature might be 50 different types.
But the benefit is peace of mind, a good night's sleep, knowing you made the right choice without the sales pressure.
Right. You're buying the feeling of a good night's sleep.
He nailed the emotion of mattress buying.
And there's that ranch in California, V6 ranch started with horseback riding.
But they quickly realized they were selling something bigger.
What was it?
Escape from daily life, connecting with nature, a sense of freedom.
It was an experience, like a transformation.
Exactly.
Powerful stuff. Like that lawyer turned massage therapist Kelly.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
Doesn't just offer a massage, offers stress relief, a chance to reconnect with your body.
It's about how you frame your offer appealing to their desires.
So anyone listening, think about your work, your passions. What are the core benefits you offer? Tap into those emotions, make people feel something.
And another thing, these entrepreneurs didn't care about traditional demographics. Forget age, income, all that.
Oh, interesting.
They found their tribe, those who shared their interests, values.
Makes sense. I guess age doesn't really matter if you both love the same thing.
KKC Coffee targeted outdoor enthusiasts, partnered with bike shops, hiking stores.
Instead of just targeting coffee drinkers in general.
Yeah, finding your niche, even if it doesn't fit a marketing box.
Like Jerry Garcia said about the Grateful Dead's fans, it just happened.
Connected through a shared passion community, grew organically.
Right, so we've got our passion, our benefits, we found our people. How do we reel them in with an offer they can't resist?
Now we get strategic. The book uses this great analogy, the orange in the donut.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Picture running a marathon. You hit mile 18, you're exhausted.
I'd kill for a donut.
Exactly. But what if they offered you an orange instead? At that moment, you'd pay anything for that refreshing, juicy slice.
It makes sense, but why not a donut?
Because timing is everything.
Ah.
A compelling offer is knowing your audience's needs at a specific time and presenting the solution then.
So it's not just what you're selling, it's making them realize they need it in an view.
Like the Alaska coupon book full of high-value travel deals, $100 was a steal.
Perfect for someone planning a trip, not so much if you're staying home.
Right. Or Jonathan, the yoga studio owner.
I think I read about him.
Noticed a slump in September after summer, but before New Year's resolutions.
That tricky in-between time.
Offered 4 months of yoga for the price of 45 days, created urgency, and helped him overcome that dip.
Clever. So tailor your offer to their needs at the right time.
The book even has an offer a construction project to help you define your product, price, audience, and hook.
So we've got our killer offer, but how do we get the word out?
These folks didn't have big marketing budgets. They hustled old school style.
Okay, but not the pushy in your face kind of hustle.
Yeah, it's about relationships, providing value, attracting those who want what you have.
More like an invitation than a sales pitch.
Exactly. It's a shift from persuasion marketing to invitation marketing.
I like that.
Elizabeth McCrellish and her Squarm Art Workshops started by inviting friends to a weekend retreat.
So no fancy advertising, just genuine connection.
And it blossomed into this huge community of artists.
The power of authentic connection.
Then there's Megan Hunt and her strategic giving.
Oh yeah, she was impressive.
Going above and beyond for customers, surprise upgrades, personalized touches.
Making them feel valued.
Give freely, receive freely.
Yeah.
It's a recurring theme, building loyalty through genuine care.
Okay, so we've built a community, but now we need to make sure the money's coming in.
That's where tweaking your way to the bank comes in.
Tweaking.
Small changes can lead to big wins.
Got it. So it's about constant improvement.
Focusing on increasing traffic, boosting conversion rates, those who actually buy from you,
Right.
and raising your average sale price.
Makes sense.
The book is full of tweaks, like a hall of fame for happy customers, irresistible upsells referral programs.
Oh yeah, upselling can be huge.
It's also about maximizing value from existing customers through upselling and cross-selling.
Easier to sell to someone who already loves what you do.
Exactly. So let's say things are going great, we're ready to scale up, but don't want to lose that freedom.
Yeah, how do you grow without losing control?
That's where franchising yourself comes in.
Doesn't necessarily mean creating a traditional franchise though, right?
Right. It could be joint ventures, hiring contractors, or creating systems that let you step back.
Like Carol and Adam's fire sale, they teamed up, offered a killer deal made bank.
Over $185,000 in 3 days. Collaboration is powerful.
Wow.
Or Erica, who built a flexible team of contractors for her transcription business.
So she could scale up or down as needed without the commitment of full-time employees.
Exactly. Finding the right model for your needs and values.
Speaking of values, these stories aren't shying away from the scary parts of starting a business.
Oh yeah. It can be terrifying.
Money worries, market changes, competition, self-doubt, it's all part of the game.
But the $100 startup reframes failure as a learning curve, a chance to pivot and come back stronger.
I like that perspective.
Like John the architect, whose studio literally collapsed under a snowstorm.
Oh no.
Devastating. But the bank ended up giving him a commission that let him buy 2 buildings he'd been eyeing.
Talk about a silver lining.
Sometimes setbacks lead to breakthroughs. Then there's Mignon Fogarty, who started with a science podcast. It flopped.
I remember her story.
But instead of giving up, she pivoted to her other passion, grammar. Grammar Girl was born.
Sometimes you gotta try a few things to find your audience.
Exactly. So instead of what if I fail, ask what if I succeed?
Love that.
And what if we trusted ourselves enough to take that first step, even if it's scary?
These stories prove it's possible.
They remind us that success isn't for the elite. It's for anyone brave enough to chase their dreams.
And that's what this deep dive is all about, empowering you to take action and create the life you want.
Exactly. It's time to ditch the excuses, embrace the possibilities, and start building something amazing.
So what are you waiting for? What's that one idea that's been nagging at you?
It's time to take that first step and see where it leads you.
You might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve.
We'll be here to cheer you on every step of the way.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the resources we mentioned today.
And be sure to join us next time for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll explore even more strategies for building a successful $100 startup.
Until then, keep hustling, keep dreaming, and keep believing in yourself.
We'll see you soon.
All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the $100 startup model.
And remember, it's not just about the money. It's about the freedom, the flexibility, and the fulfillment that comes from creating a business you love.
So go out there and make it happen.
You know, it's funny how many people think they need like some groundbreaking idea to be successful.
Right, like something totally new.
But these accidental entrepreneurs, they just took everyday problems and made things better or easier for others.
Yeah, it's about spotting those opportunities that are already out there.
Like Jen and Omar, those designers who started making those cool artistic maps.
Oh yeah, I loved those.
It was a personal project at first, but they thought, hey, maybe others would dig these too.
And they were right. Sold out in minutes.
It's like they tapped into this hidden demand. Something people didn't even realize they wanted.
Until they saw it.
So keep your eyes open. Sometimes the best ideas are right in front of you.
Now, speaking of selling things, let's talk about pricing. The book really pushes pricing based on value, not just production costs.
Yeah, that's a tough one for a lot of people.
It's a mindset shift for sure.
You're not selling a thing. You're selling a solution and experience a transformation.
Right. You're selling an outcome.
Like Gary Leff, he doesn't charge by the hour for his frequent flyer advice.
He charges based on the value he delivers.
Exactly, because he's saving people time, money, and stress.
That expertise is worth a premium. But speaking of premiums, the book also suggests offering a limited range of prices.
Yes. It's counterintuitive, but it works.
Why is that?
Too many choices, and people get overwhelmed.
Makes sense.
3 options, and most go for the middle ground.
Which is usually your sweet spot.
Exactly. You're subtly guiding them toward the best choice.
Thinky. And we can't forget recurring revenue, getting paid multiple times for the same work.
Subscriptions, memberships, that kind of thing.
That steady income can be a game changer.
Provides stability and predictability. The book even breaks down the math.
Oh, cool.
Shows how even a small number of subscribers can add up big time.
It's about building a business that keeps giving back.
Exactly. Okay, so we've nailed down our offer pricing and revenue model.
Now, how do we grow without burning out? That hustle can be intense.
It's a real balancing act.
Yeah.
The book talks about increasing traffic, first your website, your shop, wherever you're online.
Right, getting people to find you.
Optimizing for search engines, building an email list, being active on social media, all that good stuff.
So much to think about.
But traffic is just the first step.
Then you need to convert those visitors into paying customers.
Exactly. That's where conversion rates come in.
So are people actually buying what you're selling?
And there are tons of ways to improve that. Experiment with headlines, calls to action, even your website layout.
It's like optimizing your website for sales.
Making it easy for people to find what they want and buy it.
And once you've got them hooked, don't forget about upselling and cross-selling.
Right. Premium packages, bundles, add-ons, anything that enhances their experience.
It's about giving them more of what they love.
And maximizing the value you provide.
But what if you're already maxed out?
That's when franchising yourself comes in, creating systems that let your business run without you micromanaging everything.
So working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Like hiring contractors like Erica did for her transcription business.
She could scale her workload without hiring full-time employees.
Or collaborating on big projects like Carol and Adam's fire sale.
It's about finding the right model for you.
And speaking of you, let's talk about the fear of failure.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Everyone faces it, but these accidental entrepreneurs had a different take.
They didn't have investors breathing down their necks.
So they were more willing to experiment.
Because they knew not everything would work out perfectly.
They embraced failure as feedback, as part of the process.
They were less afraid to stumble because they knew they could adjust their course.
Like John the architect whose studio collapsed.
Right. Turned into a blessing in disguise.
The bank commission funded an even bigger dream.
Sometimes failure is just a redirection.
And Mignon Fogarty didn't let a failed podcast stop her.
She pivoted and became Grammar Girl.
Success often comes after a few detours.
So instead of, what if I fail, ask, what if this leads to something even better?
And surround yourself with the supportive community people who get it.
Because when you're feeling discouraged, that support system can be a lifesaver.
They remind you that you're not alone in this crazy journey.
Now let's talk about the fear of not having enough money to get started.
Yes, the money hurdle. It's easy to think you need a loan or investors.
But the $100 startup challenges that idea.
So many of these entrepreneurs bootstrap their way to success.
Started small and reinvested their profits.
Like Gary Leff built his business on expertise and reputation. No fancy stuff, just pure value.
It's a reminder that passion and hustle can often outweigh a big bank account.
Don't let limited funds limit your dreams.
Now, one thing that really stood out to me was the emphasis on community and collaboration.
Yeah, they weren't about cutthroat competition. They understood that a rising tide lifts all boats.
Like Elizabeth Squam art workshops, it's more than a business, it's a movement.
It's about building something bigger than yourself.
And Megan Hunt, with her strategic giving, it's not just about transactions, it's about building relationships.
Creating a tribe of raving fans who love what you do.
So it's not just about what you sell, it's about the community you build around it.
And while community is great, let's not forget those solopreneurs out there hustling on their own.
Right, they're out there grinding, making it happen.
Like Brett Kelly, building a 6-figure business around Evernote. He saw a need, created a solution, put it out there, all on his own.
Wow, impressive. And then there's Naomi Dunford, the copywriter, who built her business from scratch by focusing on her skills and delivering results.
No fancy marketing, just pure talent and hard work.
It's a reminder that sometimes the best hustle is simply doing the work.
And letting your results speak for themselves.
So for all the solopreneurs out there, don't be afraid to roll up your sleeves and get things done.
Trust your instincts, hone your skills, and let your passion be your guide.
Now let's get real about money management. It's easy to neglect the financial side, especially when you're starting out.
Right. But it's crucial to treat your business like a real business from day one.
Even if it starts as a passion project.
Understand your numbers, track your income and expenses, and price your offerings for profit.
Not just to cover costs.
Exactly. You need to make sure your business is sustainable.
And one key takeaway is focusing on profit, not just revenue.
It's not about how much money you bring in, but how much you keep after expenses.
So those tempting discounts might boost sales, but are they actually profitable?
The book offers tips for maximizing profitability, upselling, creating recurring revenue streams like subscriptions.
It's about finding what works for you.
And bootstrapping. Starting and growing without relying on big investments.
Like Shannon Oakey, the craft publisher, remember? The bank laughed at her loan application.
They didn't take craft publishing seriously.
So she launched a Kickstarter, raised over $12,000 in 20 days, and sent the bank a lollipop with a printout of her success.
Now, that's how you make a statement.
It's about being resourceful and proving the doubters wrong.
So don't let finances hold you back. Focus on value, manage your money wisely, and bootstrap your way to freedom.
Okay, so we've talked about starting small, finding your people, crafting offers, hustling, and managing money.
Now, what happens when you're ready to grow but don't want to lose your sanity?
How do you scale without sacrificing your freedom?
That's where franchising yourself comes in.
Building systems and processes that let your business run smoothly even when you're not micromanaging everything.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
And creating a business that works for you, not the other way around.
Exactly. It could mean hiring contractors like Erica did.
Or creating joint ventures for a big win like Carol and Adam's fire sale.
It's about finding what works best for you and your business.
And speaking of things working out, let's be honest, growth and expansion can be intimidating.
Of course, there's always that fear of failure.
What if we make mistakes, lose money, disappoint ourselves or others?
Those fears are valid. But remember, the $100 startup reframes failure as a stepping stone.
It's a chance to learn and adapt.
Like John the architect whose studio collapsed.
It seemed like the end, but it actually opened up a new path.
Or Mignon Fogarty, who turned a failed podcast into a wildly successful one.
By pivoting to a different passion,
It's about seeing those setbacks as
you
opportunity.
learn to adapt to come back stronger.
So instead of asking, what if I fail?
Yeah.
Ask, what if this leads to something even better?
And surround yourself with a supportive community, people who understand the ups and downs.
They can offer advice, encouragement, and a reminder that you're not alone.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of like practical stuff, finding your passion, making an offer, all that.
Right.
But there's this one thing that I think trips people up, and I wanted to address it.
What's that?
It's the fear of not knowing if your idea is actually good.
Ah, yes, the classic, what if nobody wants this fear?
It's so easy to get stuck in that loop, you know?
Absolutely, analysis paralysis.
Yeah, exactly. And then you never actually do anything.
The $100 startup model is all about action, though. Testing your ideas in the real world.
So get out there and see if people actually bite.
Exactly. Don't get bogged down in planning forever.
So how do you actually test an idea without spending a ton of time and money?
Start simple. Share with your network, friends, family, colleagues. Get their honest feedback.
People you trust to tell you if it's a dud.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to put it online. Create a basic landing page or website explaining your concept.
And collect email addresses from interested people.
It's a low-cost way to validate your idea and start building an audience.
You could even do a small survey to get feedback on pricing or features.
The key is to get out of your head and into the real world. Talk to potential customers, iterate as you go.
Don't be afraid to experiment and tweak things along the way.
Finding the perfect $100 startup idea is a journey.
So embrace it. Trust your instincts and keep asking yourself, what can I create that will truly make a difference?
Now, finding a great idea is just the first step. You need to present it in a way that makes people want to buy it.
Make them an offer they can't refuse.
The book has this great analogy, the orange and the donut.
Okay, I'm listening.
Picture this, you're running a marathon, you hit mile 18, you're exhausted, craving sugar.
I'd kill for a donut at that point.
Right, but what if they offered you an orange instead?
I guess I'd be pretty desperate.
At that moment, a juicy orange would be heaven.
True, but why not a donut?
Because it's all about context. A compelling offer is about understanding your audience's needs at a specific time and presenting the perfect solution.
So it's not just what you're selling, it's about making them realize they need it right then.
Exactly. Like those Alaska coupon books full of travel deals, only valuable if you're planning a trip.
Otherwise, it's just paper.
Or Jonathan, the yoga studio owner, who noticed a slump in September. So he offered a 4-month package for the price of 45 days.
Smart way to boost sales during a slow period.
He knew exactly what his audience needed at that moment and presented it in a way that was irresistible.
So the lesson here is to think beyond just listing features.
Highlight the benefits, the transformation, the feeling people get from what you offer.
Make it emotional.
Make it personal.
And the book has this offer construction project to help you break it down.
So you can create an offer that really stands out and speaks to your ideal customer.
Okay, so you've got your killer offer. Now it's time to spread the word. And these accidental entrepreneurs, they didn't have big marketing budgets. They hustled, but in a smart way.
It's not about being pushy or spammy. It's about building genuine connections.
Attracting people who are already interested in what you have to offer.
More like an invitation than a sales pitch.
Yeah, like, hey, come join the party.
Exactly. Like Elizabeth McCrellich and her Squam Art workshops. It started as a small gathering of friends and grew organically into this huge community.
The power of word of mouth and genuine passion.
And then there's Megan Hunt with her strategic giving, going above and beyond for her customers.
Creating those wow moments that turn them into loyal fans.
It's a reminder that generosity and kindness can be powerful marketing tools.
It's about building a brand that people love and trust, a brand they want to be a part of.
All right, so we've talked about a lot today, from finding your passion to crafting irresistible offers to hustling smart.
But I think what's most inspiring about these accidental entrepreneurs is that they're not just building businesses.
They're building lives of purpose and meaning.
They're proving that you can make a living doing what you love.
And that you can create a business that reflects your values.
And make a positive impact on the world.
They're showing us that you don't have to follow a traditional path to achieve success.
You can forge your own way, embrace your uniqueness, and create something truly special.
So what's your dream? What sets your soul on fire? What impact do you want to make?
The $100 startup is a reminder that it's all within your reach.
You have the power to create a life you love, a business that lights you up, and a legacy that will inspire others.
Don't wait for permission or the perfect moment.
Start a small experiment and trust the journey.
The world is waiting for what you have to offer.
And that's it for our deep dive into the $100 startup. It's been a blast exploring these inspiring stories and practical strategies with you.
We hope you've walked away with some actionable takeaways and a renewed sense of possibility.
Remember, success is not just about the money, it's about the freedom, the flexibility, and the fulfillment that comes from creating a business you love.
So go out there and make it happen. Embrace the accidental entrepreneur within you and create something amazing.
We'll be here cheering you on every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us.